Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. And I apologize. This has been like a back to back to back to back, about 10 meetings in a row. My wife was saying, "Oh my God, you look so haggard." And so, yeah, I am haggard. And I think we still have a couple more meetings. We're going to talk about Globy here coming up after this meeting. And I think I got another one. So this is a particularly crazy day. So I apologize ahead of time that I'm not as
This might be
coherent
the
as I.
wrong crowd to get sympathy.
You guys
No
are all in
sympathy
the
for you. No
same
soup for you.
boat, right? No soup for you. Yeah, I use that with my grandson. No soup for you. So you guys are all beat and haggard as well. So maybe this is the right crowd for me to be in. We're all in the same boat. One of the things that I think all of us are experiencing is, if you think about the last 5, 10, 20 years, 20 years ago, oh my God, things were easy, right? Uh, it was just we hardly did anything compared to today. And today, because of technology and because of so many things going on and higher expectations, we need to accomplish a lot more. And that's good or bad. I mean, I think it's good because we can have more influence, we can have more impact. Technology is allowing us to do it. We just have to do it right. And today I did not do it right, so I apologize. So thank you for picking me up when I need help. And even if Jim's not going to pick me up, I know the rest of you. So let's get going. And really the purpose of this meeting is to get members uh, connected to other members. And the big question we always ask is, who do you want to meet? And League of Extraordinaries is the first meeting 10 years ago that we always had this question asked, like, hey, who do you want to meet? And often the inclination is, well, here are my customers that I have. But again, always want to think about who are your best customers. And so the purpose of today is to meet other members, to get them to know who you want to meet and what you do, so that maybe they come up with an idea for you. And one of the things that's kind of cool that we've been doing this meeting forever, there's some of these people, and I don't know if there's anybody here like that, but there are people who have been in Global Chamber for 10 years. And sometimes I'll sit down with them now and I'll ask that question, well, who do you want to meet? And they'll say something that triggers something in my head, like, wow, I never thought of that kind of person for you. So if when you're giving your answer, because we're going to go around the room, when you give your answer, you give as much specificity as you can: market segment, location, language, problem that they have, other characteristic of the person that is the best kind of person for you, because it will open up, especially when you're very specific, um, some ideas. If you say, small businesses between 5 and 50 million, that doesn't do it, right? It's the level of granularity beyond that that really gets us really thinking about you. So let's talk to some veterans here in the room. And one of the most amazing people you'll ever meet is Steve Nikokiris. Not just because he's kind of from my hometown there, kind of in the Westchester, Connecticut, city area, but his balance of business development and his expertise on the business side and how he balances both of those is just exquisite. And I just admire you so much and how you're able to do that. So, Steve, could you explain more about who you would like to meet and anything else you'd like to share today? And let's see if we can help you.
Yeah, well, you said veteran. I'm not a veteran. I'm a newbie to the global, but I really am enjoying it so far and really trying to embrace it. But no, that's a great question. And I just recently sat down with Charles Bernard and we tried to do something a little bit unique for me anyway. And he was opening up his LinkedIn network and he's got Sales Navigator and we highlighted staffing because I do some stuff in the staffing industry and he found about 8 or 10 staffing company owners and high-level executives in his network that we identified as potential people that I'd love to meet. And even though, it's funny because a lot of people are connected to people on LinkedIn, but, you could have thousands of connections, but you don't know half the people. And he didn't recollect a lot of these people, but he decided he would follow up with them anyway as a reason for him to reconnect with them and also to introduce me. So he did that to about eight, 7 or 8 people. And of the 7 or 8 people, we've already got 5 responses that were very positive, indicating an interest to meet with him and an interest to meet with me. And I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect that. So that was something that we did. And I did the same with my LinkedIn connections, and I picked several, and he found several CEOs in my connections that were people that he would like to have met, and several of them I didn't really know well, and I agreed to follow up with them. And I've been getting responses from about half of them saying hello and love to reconnect, and I'm happy to meet with Charles. So it was very positive, and so that's something I'm trying to pass along to others. I don't know if anyone on the group has been, trying to do that, but that was an interesting little exercise we went through, and I think it's going to be helpful.
Amazing. That's a great idea. So, is there anybody that in particular that you would like to meet, or anyone, a characteristic of a person for you that would kind of put a cherry on top of your next quarter?
Hey, I mean, like you said, it's really hard to be specific because, things come up unexpectedly. But, there was one company, a company called Mark Fisher, which is a couple of $100 million shoe company, that's in the New York metropolitan area. And that's been a target of mine for many years. I knew the CFO, I know of the CFO, and actually I played golf with the head of HR totally haphazardly on over the weekend, and it was an amazing coincidence. So that's a specific name of a really growing, successful, company in the shoe business.
That would be somebody that, if somebody has a connection there, you would
Yeah,
find it.
that would be a very very interesting and specific connection.
Okay. Very good. We were talking at our last meeting about how somebody wanted to meet, they actually told me that they wanted to meet Charles Bronson. And I thought, Charles Bronson? And they said, yeah, that Virgin guy. It's like, oh, Richard Branson.
Oh, right. I'm saying he's, I think, in the grave. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to meet him. Oh,
So,
Richard Branson. Yeah, that's a great guy. I'd love to
big,
get
big,
to.
big difference, right? And Cesar actually found overnight. So that was like afternoon West Coast, and Cesar overnight uh, found a member of ours in Norway who can make the connection. So it goes to the power of the network, right? Does anybody have any ideas or thoughts for Steve? And hearing none, we'll just keep moving around the room. Thank you. Do you prefer Steve or Steven?
Fine, Steve, Stephen, Bob, Billy, Bob, John,
Okay.
Bub, whatever you. No, really, I have no preference.
Okay. Cool. That's good. My
I
brother
grew up
is.
with a nickname as a kid. I had a nickname though. People called me Nico. So I still
Oh,
have friends when I was a kid, and so whenever anyone calls me Nico, my wife looks at me and she knows what, that they go back 40, 50 years. And I
okay.
luckily still have a couple of friends from there.
Every Greek family has like 10 Nikos in the family,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So my wife is
yes.
Greek, so like that. My Greek wedding, right?
Oh,
My
right.
my big
Great,
fat
great
Greek
fun
wedding.
movie.
It's like, oh, who's here? Oh, Nico,
Right,
Niki,
right,
Nico.
right. Just say Nico, right?
Thank you much. Continued success. Let's keep going around the room, and we'll talk to some, I think, really interesting people. One of whom is Jason Ball, who's probably sitting near the beach in Australia, but he's got some really deep connections in Japan. He's the most connected person you'll ever find in Japan. He's in the IT industry, and he's also just generally a great business resource. Jason, welcome. Who can we introduce you to? Anything you'd like to share today?
Hey Doug, Steve, everyone. I'm not too far from the beach, but actually we're just walking the dog in the morning here in Gold Coast in Queensland. Not living in Japan anymore, but lived there for 18 and a half years, and yeah, built a strong network and a business networking group called Business in Japan. It's about 17 years old, based on LinkedIn. and we've been doing events until COVID, monthly, then webinars, and then Clubhouse, and then LinkedIn audio. So always trying to connect my network with each other, similar to what Doug was saying. I find that when you ask people how you can help them, unless someone's in sales or business owner or looking for a job, most people struggle with that. And that's where it moves to what Doug was saying, is who do you want to meet? And so I usually, after having learnt about somebody or learnt something new, if I already know them, that makes me think of someone, and I make that introduction. So I also have Sales Navigator and 21,000 organically grown connections, and the Business in Japan group has 94,000 members in it. Over the last 17 years, it's built to that.
Amazing.
About 30% or so are based in Japan. So I work in IT incident management for an AI call center company called Live Person, US company. And yeah, at the moment, not looking to meet anyone specific, but love to hear about how I might help others. And I do make a little bit of money through Business in Japan, through doing paid events in Japan about 3 times a year, but also a Business in Japan partner network. These are companies that I know and trust the owner of, who give me a percentage of any revenue for a period of time through any introductions that go ahead. Usually related to Japan, but sometimes a Japanese company going to the US or another country. And a paid membership program I'm just quietly launching, which 2 levels. One would be supporters who just want to connect more effectively with other people committed to Japan, business, Korea, that sort of thing, and gets them into all the events for free. And we're about to launch a platform where we can have member-only content and connection. And then the premium level I call Good People, which is an old personal brand of mine, connecting good people. That's where they get to speak to me about their goals when it comes to Japan, and as well as giving them my feedback. That's where I start, perhaps a little like Steve was saying, I have Sales Navigator, but also a lot in my head. I identify people I think they would like to meet, and it's a networking type introduction. Those people who know me or know of me over the last 20 plus years on LinkedIn will know I'm a connector, and so it's not surprising that I reach out and say, hey, be great to introduce you to this person. But for people like Steve, not just understanding who they want to meet, who would want to meet you is the other side of the coin. So I always like to understand how I can help people. So that allows me to understand, when I approach people, what's in it for them and why they might be interested. So yeah, let me know if I can help you. Large active network in and related to Japan, but I live in Australia as well, and building that network, which is tough in a small area like the Gold Coast, working from home 100% of the time in IT, but I'm slowly building the Australian network as well. Interested in meeting good people. Thanks, Doug.
Congratulations. Thanks for the collaboration. You actually, you came up in my last meeting why I was late for this one, with Alexandra, who was here. Let's see. Yeah, Alexandra's here.
Hi, Doug. I'm
So
here.
hey, I'm glad. So you guys know each other, and so one of the action items in that meeting was for Alexandra to chat with you. She's moving to Yokohama for the next almost year, and so we're talking about how to coordinate, and we'd like to coordinate with some things with you, and so she'll be in touch.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
So thanks for the collaboration, and thanks for all you do. Alexandra, would you like to introduce yourself and say hi? And Cesar is in the room too. So the Global Chamber folks in the room are myself and Cesar, who I think hopefully everybody knows, and he usually says some things at the end. He's also already making connections. I saw an email fly by my screen here for Stephen. So he's making those connections in the background, and that's his main role, although he and I are basically the the management for Global Chamber. And his part of the key aspect of for members is connections. And he's spending a lot of time, especially now that we're putting a new system in, to get that to work even better going forward. And so that's why he's here. Alexandra is working with us on some chapter development work, and before she heads over to Yokohama. Would you like to introduce yourself, Alexandra?
Yeah, sure, Doug. So, hi everyone. My name is Alexandra. As Doug said, I've been, yeah, kind of helping out here at Global Chamber. I was an intern with Global Chamber actually a couple years back. And then I had so much fun that I wanted to come back and spend some more time here with everyone. So, yeah, I just graduated from Pomona College in Claremont, California for undergrad. And I studied international relations with minors in Japanese, and Asian studies. And so I'm really passionate about Japan and just learning more about global business in general. I'm really hoping to utilize like Japanese language in global business and in facilitating connections. So that's part of why I'm going to Yokohama. I'll be attending the Inter-University Center through Stanford in Yokohama. And yeah, in terms of kind of just stuff at Global Chamber, we've really been looking to just try to engage more with some of our members, our leaders, understanding how we can really get the community fired up in different regions. So I wanted to come and say hi to everyone and see if there's any way we can help make some connections or ways that I can help, facilitate some of that growth. So happy to meet everyone.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Alexandra. Really appreciate it.
Ooh.
But let's keep going around the room. Chris Bird is a new member of Global Chamber. Welcome. You're also part of the Phoenix Advisory Board. This event started in Phoenix. It was a guy named Joe Bockersteady who's still on the advisory board, longtime friend, a guy who made money in Indianapolis. He moved to Phoenix. I met him. He was looking for a business to buy. He bought the business and then actually helped. I was helping him do some things with the business. And one thing he said to me created this event. He said, here I am in Phoenix. I've got an amazing business, and he did have and he does have an amazing business. And nobody in Phoenix appreciates it. It's an extraordinary business. And yet I'm Sirius Radio is using it, but nobody in Phoenix will pay for it. And I thought, okay, I can relate to that in small town America or small town worldwide. People don't fully appreciate, the value that can be created or they can't afford it. And in the big cities, sometimes they overpay for stuff and Sirius Radio overpaid. But the bottom line is all of us here are doing extraordinary work. And so Joe was the one that through the word extraordinary created the pen name for this event, League of Extraordinaries. Service providers, the core of Global Chamber are exporters. This group is business service providers looking to build their network, and Joe Bockersteady was a key person. And Chris, you know Joe.
I do. Yep. He was a client of mine.
And when started using Chris's marketing work, he was the happiest guy in the world. He said, Doug, Joe told me, he said, Doug, I found it. I found the way I need to market. And I didn't know that you were connected at the time, but he was just really happy and you changed his business in a very positive way. Tell us more about your situation in terms of who you'd like to meet and what you do.
Yeah. As Doug mentioned, it's my first meeting. So super happy to be here and kind of getting to know everyone. My name's Chris Bird. I'm in Phoenix. I'm actually a fractional chief marketing officer with a group called Chief Outsiders. And Chief Outsiders is one of the largest, if not the largest, fractional marketing and sales consulting groups in the country. We've got about 100 experienced CMOs and chief sales officers. And so even if I can't help you with marketing, I can guarantee you I know someone that can, marketing or sales for that matter. We do place a lot of chief sales officers as part of the work that we do as well. But it was interesting at the beginning. You mentioned to be specific, and I'm kind of struggling with that too because I mean we've been in business. Chief Outsiders, that is, has been around for about 15 years. As I mentioned, 100 different chief marketing officers and chief sales officers. We've touched nearly, gosh, every private equity firm you can think of in the United States, but we're generally work with mid-market CEOs that will typically call on us when they're either looking to fix stagnant growth or looking to take their growth to the next level. And I do know mid-market can be sort of broad, Doug, to your point of granularity. Um, but I think we'd look at it as kind of basically revenues range from anywhere to 10 million to 300 million. Um, and that could be, I would say we're heavier on the B2B side, but I do a lot of B2C work myself. So again, I know that's broad, but we, with as many people we have, we do cover a lot of different areas. Um, just recently, and I would say for me, most of my experience is in the healthcare related field. So on the chief marketing side, uh, healthcare related, or anything with location based businesses. So think of, I mean, I'm working with an oil change company now, 250 locations across the United States. Certainly not healthcare, right? Oil change is very different, but it's because they have location base that kind of puts them in the world that I'm in from a marketing perspective. Um, and I would
Cool.
say my sort of area of marketing um, is more on what they call the performance side. So it's like lead generation, that kind of stuff. There's certainly a lot of folks out there that are really good about working with startups or establishing a brand, kind of from a creative perspective. I kind of leave that work to other folks, and I focus more on the performance side of marketing. So
Very cool. Welcome and
yeah.
congratulations. He also has the answer to the number one PGA viral video involves a woman, and it's all clean, it's all above board, all good. And does anybody know what that is? And it relates to Phoenix, it relates to the Phoenix Open. And Chris knows.
I do know, yeah.
So Joe Bockersteady, who we mentioned earlier, his daughter, Amy Bockersteady, has Down syndrome, and she is a golfer. And she's set all sorts of records as that. And she hit a golf shot and played with, I forget the pro golfers who it was, but she played the 16th hole, the famous 16th hole, and at TPC. And she hit it in the sand, hit out of the sand to within about 12 feet. And then she said, she's got this. And she got it. She got her par. And there was
Oh,
a
wow.
huge cheer in the crowd. But if you Google Amy Bockersteady, you will see one of the most inspiring videos you've ever seen. She is an extraordinary lady. She's actually spoken at Global Chamber a couple times. And she's an extraordinary lady. And Joe is an amazing guy. He was on the Today Show, and he was like Mr. PR guy for Amy after that happened. It was big news. It's extraordinary.
Hey,
So,
Chris, how long have you been with Chief Outsiders? And do you know Carol Everson?
I do know Carol. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've only been with Chief Outsiders for a couple of months, but
Oh,
Carol, it's funny. She brought me my first client at Chief Outsiders, so I know her well.
oh, she and I are both in Vistage, and she is in
Okay,
a
yeah,
Vistage group in New York City. We've been I've
yeah,
been together with her for 3, 4. I think she just 3 or 4 years. She's a
nice.
dynamo.
Yeah,
She's a
yeah,
great
she's
lady.
great. That's
Stephen
awesome.
knows everybody. And he knows Manabu. So Manabu Sasaki is here, and he works for Itochu. He's always looking for some interesting businesses. And so Manabu, uh, who would you like to meet? How can we help?
Sure. I guess similar to what Stephen and Jason said, it's really hard to pinpoint because from a transactional standpoint, I head the corporate development, so we do M&A, strategic investments, new business development. So in terms of investments, that could be 10 to 20 million to $1 billion type of deal. So it's very broad and industry-wise, Itochu is a multi-industry conglomerate. So it's divided into 8 industry sectors. So the larger deals comes from our machinery division or machinery industry segment, which includes infrastructure and other industrials as well. So those are kind of like the larger deals. The reason I joined Global Chamber is just based on my current relationship as a corp debt person. I usually talk to financial institutions, financial sponsors, large corporations. What's appealing with Global Chamber is people who have their own business, more entrepreneurs on the list. So those are a little bit out of my normal comfort business. So I personally would like to meet people and from that segment, and also it goes both ways. I'm here to help. If there's any interest of people who may want to talk about, let's say, Alexandra, you said you're going to Japan. I've been with Hitochu in 2 different stints, but total about 13 years. But prior to that, I started my career at a Japanese bank. So I was a banker for about 10 plus years before coming to the US in 1999 to New York City. And I also, in between my 2 stints with Hitochi, I was an investment banker at a US investment bank for 10 plus years as a managing director heading the Japan coverage and also Asia coverage. So happy to discuss anything that you would like to about Japan or Asia. Happy to do that. And these are, there's always a start to a business conversation. So a very casual talk may lead to something in the future. So I'm open to that. And for instance, Leon is also works for a Japanese consulting firm. So we met through the Global Chamber. So these, in Japanese, we call it en, meaning what's the right English word for it? It's a natural cause that people meet. So there might be a reason that put people together. So
my company name, Manabu in Australia is Goan.
When? Yes.
That's my company name, Goan Proprietary Limited.
Goan. Okay.
By holdings.
And also, Jason, as you said, you have a networking business in Japan. So there you go. There's 4 people who has kind of direct relationship with Japanese culture.
Excellent.
It's excellent
Yes.
to be for these, and those are kind of things that I wanted to accomplish through Global Chambers as well. But also, Itochu does have a global network, so happy to introduce any. Although my coverage is basically North America, mainly in the U.S., but we pretty much have a global network in all continents, over 60 countries. So happy to make any introduction. I won't claim I know all the business that we do in the world, but I'm happy to make connections with any of the country that we might be doing business, whether it's Central Asia or Africa or any other places outside Western civilization as well.
Amazing. What you mentioned about Leon, one of the businesses that you met was this one I think out of Singapore, right, Leon? Was that the one that came in that you were looking to connect up, the clinical one? Is it cancer remediation?
Liver cancer vaccine one.
Liver cancer, yeah. That came to New York.
Really, really useful. So very, very happy to have connected with some people, and we're having some discussions about that deal.
Leon, we met over a decade ago in Singapore. His office is very close to where my office was in Singapore, and I don't even remember how we met originally, but time passed, and suddenly he does this deal with Yamada Consulting and does a lot of M&A work, and he's spending a lot of time in the U.S. We've met a couple times in L.A., but he's based out now of New York and in Singapore. So thank you for your leadership and the amazing work that you're doing. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Well, thank you, Doug. And it's great to meet all of you. I think some old faces and some new faces as well. So briefly, Yamada Consulting Group.
Leon, I'm sorry, but your voice is very low. We don't hear you too clear. At least I don't. It's a little hard, so I don't know.
Okay, can you hear me better now? Is that
It's
Yes.
It's a
okay. It
little
just
better.
is a little lower than everybody else. I'm normally not very low voice, so.
He's
I've got some
Were
noise?
you able to hear him, Doug, or was it fine to you? Or was it a little low? The volume of his
he's
voice.
a little bit of a low talker, as Seinfeld
Oh,
would
okay.
say. Yeah.
But you made him run away.
Oh no, I don't want to.
I just see
Please come back.
lots of noise interference. So is that better? Can you guys hear me?
You might want to have your IT team work on your microphone, but you are a soft talker, and so we'll be cross-culturally aware of that, and
Yes.
I'm going to point my good ear toward the microphone. How about that?
Okay, I'll try to speak more loudly. I am a soft talker. I got that from my late father.
Yeah.
I'll try to speak up a little bit. So, Yamada Consulting Group, headquartered in Tokyo, 60 years of heritage. It does strategy consulting, but a lot of the focus of my work in Yamada is cross-border mid-market merger and acquisition advisory. So we basically find Japanese and Asian companies to invest in the US and American companies to invest in Japan and Asia. And we're also present in Europe through a network of M&A advisory firms called the Clearfield Network. So we can cover Asia, including Japan and Europe and the US as well. So I am always looking for companies who are interested in acquisitions and interested to sell across verticals. So to Doug's point on granularity, how can I make that more granular? Gosh, we are not vertical specific, but mid-market, our sweet spot is, transaction values about 50 million. And we do a lot of work in food, let me see, construction related, logistics, automotive, aerospace, some financial services. So it's a bunch of verticals. That may not be very helpful, I know, because that's too many verticals. But yeah, so always interested in finding companies that have some aspirations for this M&A space, companies looking for market research and consulting as well, because that's a part of our business. So as Doug mentioned, I founded a market research company in Asia. I grew that to 100 people. I sold that to Yamada about 9 years ago. For some bizarre reason, they've kept me on, you know. And I'm also happy to help out. I mean, if there's anything that I can add value with in Japan, Yamada Consulting Group organizes events, seminars, physical and virtual. We have a domestic M&A department. I don't have a lot to do with that, but I know the people there. So if there are Japanese companies that you come across that are interested to buy or to sell, we can probably add some value to that in Japan and also in Asia. So we have M&A professionals across all the Asian countries. Most of them are my guys. I hired them like 1-2 decades ago, and they've grown up with me. Singapore, Indonesia, India, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, so we can help to make connections as well. I've been in New York now about 6 months and really enjoying it. Always looking to make new connections here in the US and New York, both business wise as well as also just socially. Just finding my feet, finding a social circle as well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for a long time staying connected, and it's been great to learn more, and congratulations on that success. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we're neighbors. We should get together. I mean, I'm in New York. You're in New York. I don't think we connected. I'm right in Midtown. I have 3 offices in New York. I'm sure we have some common connections. So if you're up to it, grab a coffee or a breakfast or lunch. If you'll be around for the next, you plan to be in New York for the next several months or years, or what are your plans?
Oh, yeah, it's probably going to be a couple of years. Yeah, I would love to catch up with you. I'll be away next week, but yeah, later on in July, I'll drop you a note. Yeah, we can
Okay,
grab
great.
Sounds great. Yeah,
Thank you.
Bryant Park, right? The Bryant Park office is just walking.
I'm right across from Bryant Park as I speak. I'm literally on 40th Street between 6th and Broadway, at 5 Bryant Park.
Right. Wonderful.
I think Leon, you're gonna be part of the 24th, right? Of the event on the 4th.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, evidently I'm making a presentation, so a bit nervous about that.
Oh, so you're gonna be but you'll be in my office. The meeting is in my office.
I guess so, yeah. Right, Cesar?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So I'll see you on the 24th.
Sounds good. Let's keep going around the room. Jorge Maldonado, welcome. How are you? We've got a couple different folks from Mexico. Do you have the ability to, and it looks like you've unmuted yourself and
Yeah.
we see you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your success. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Well, thank you. This is my second meeting as a member. Well, first, my company, Digital Markets, is a marketing consulting company that is basically works with small and medium companies developing marketing strategies. I work as an audit between the solutions that they currently have right now. And then we make an audit and if they wanted to do some marketing in some new venture or new solution or social media, programmatic media. And I really wanted to know, meet people from the United States and the other part of the world that wanted to have a consultation of my marketing business.
Okay. Any particular market segments are appealing to you?
Yeah, I've been working almost 20 years in the automotive industry, but between the time that I've been working with my own company, been working with hospitality, healthcare, education, with universities, and also specific reference laboratories. So MRIs, and they're going to develop, some marketing for the new stuff that they're working on. Well, I've been doing a lot of stuff between project with them.
Where in Mexico are you?
I'm in Puerto Rico.
Oh, in Puerto Rico. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean
No
to. Cesar, maybe our friend in Aguas Caliente, Yuri, might be an interesting one on the education side.
Yeah.
And then on the automotive side, we know a lot of folks. And so,
That's great.
so that I'll work on some of those. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank
Great
you.
to learn more.
Thank you.
Let's keep going around. And Chad Richardson is also a new member. Chad, you've got all sorts of stuff going on. Lawton Lighthouse. Who can we introduce you to? I know you've got I think you're presenting sometime in the future, and we need to do an onboarding call. We can't cover everything for you, but tell us who you'd like to meet.
Definitely.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, everybody. And it's like Mr. Manabu Sasaki said, there's always a moment, a reason why you meet people. And I heard on the news today that, the U.S. is slapping tariffs on Japan. And one of the things is because it's hard to get in the Japanese market, but it sounds like we got people here that can help us. So that's great. Yeah, so I'm with Lawton Lighthouse. That's my registered LLC in the US here. And then we're part of a broader, what's called Most Important Plans for the Planet Collaborative. And the most important plans for the planet are simply the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, because it was agreed to by 193 countries back in 2015. We're only 20% of the way there, and they sunset in 2030, and we need about $5 trillion a year to get there. And so it's a massive capital engine. And so what we're doing is we're setting up what are called most important plants for the planet hubs, and who I'm looking to seek to collaborate with and meet. Mostly number one, Doug, would be one of your board members. I forget the gentleman's name, but he's with EcoSoc, I believe, or used to be. So it would really be anybody who's interested in, and this will be something as we hope to co-create with the chamber of, hubs that act as localized SDG priority zones for each region, right? We got 195 countries with the chamber. We can localize, okay, what SDGs need to be hit, which companies within the chamber can go and do those sustainable development goals. And that way we can start unlocking capital and driving the capital to where it belongs. Even, if I choose to throw this away into a trash can or a recycling bin, that has an effect on a sustainable development goal, right? Because I'd be recycling rather than, not putting it to in the correct way so we can turn it into a new resource. So I guess this is my first meeting, and it's brilliant so far, and looking forward to meet everybody in the future. So thank you.
Who was the name of the person that you mentioned on an advisory board?
I'll have to go and I'll go and look at the paper I sent you, but I thought there was a gentleman when we talked a while back that he was with ECOSOC or UNDESA.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
let me know.
I'll look. Yeah.
Neither of those companies, but thank you and appreciate and welcome to Global Chamber. You've got really fascinating connections and you've got a fascinating business. Let's
Thank
keep
you.
going. Another fascinating person is Jim Cook. He's always involved with some crazy unicorn. So Jim, thank you on a global scale for the work that you do. Anybody you'd like to meet?
I'm still working on the word crazy. My name is Jim Cook. Our company, our position, our job is to get everybody to your level. So to the panel, what we're looking for, and I'll drop it in, we are a startup and a pivot company. We take them to the investment level. We have two business models that have worked pretty successfully. First to market, which we've done really, really well with. And that what we call innovative to established markets, which will be the Airbnbs and Ubers and Instagrams or Instacarts, that kind of stuff. So our job is to put it all together, drive them to the VC level, and then we got to bother all of you to help them. That's all I got.
Short and succinct. You're amazing. Thank you very much. Continued
Crazy.
success. Francis Ota is also amazing and probably maybe the only one I'm looking at this that I may have met in person out of this group. Francis Ota, I've met several times because he's in Southern California and does some amazing fractional work. Francis, I'm trying to think of the name of that company. I do owe. Remember the fellow we met at in Irvine, that really unique business that was growing? You were really talking to him.
Yeah,
Enderal Industries.
Yes,
They
fantastic, interesting company for sure.
adding thousands of employees at a time. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's a drone company that is mostly government oriented, and they've just exploded. Multi-billion dollar company that I didn't even know about. But oh my God, that guy was amazing. Did you get his business card?
Yeah, I did. So we're connected.
I need that business card. I need
Okay,
that.
I'll get that to you for sure.
But Francis does amazing work, and not just because he's got Muhammad Ali and President Kennedy behind him, and he's sandwiched in there. He really does stand out. And thank you for all the great work that you do with members and also with non-members. Who would you like to meet?
Well, thank you, Doug. I really appreciate it. Well, this meeting, I really want to connect with Manabu, Leon, Chris, and Alexandria, because she's heading over to Japan. So let me tell you a quick brief of what I do. I'm a partner at To Go Advisory Group, and we're one of the oldest fractional and interim executive consulting firms. So we cover, almost across the industries. The newest industries that we're really pushing and making good progress is in our AI practice, as well as supply chain and manufacturing. I'm a CFO by training, and I lived and worked in Japan for about 7 years, partly responsible for Japan, but the other part of me was responsible for Asia Pacific for Hewlett Packard and Medtronic. And I've spent about 20 years in the medical device and diagnostics industry. So that's kind of my forte area as a CFO. But I have to tell you, in terms of my passion, I'm located here in LA. The firm's headquarters is in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm, besides connecting US companies to international, but international to the US, I'm looking at immigrant businesses, businesses started by immigrants, and first, second, third generation businesses. They're successful in their own right, but as you all know, they reach a limit in terms of resources, whether it's financing or technical expertise, and that's where we come in, and we collaborate with a lot of other firms. Our partnership has about 30 partners, but we leverage our network, individuals like yourselves. When we have a client that's outside our wheelhouse, I'll be calling out to people that I know and trust. So that's my part in part of being part of Global Chamber, since I'm so focused on international. So I'll work with Caesar, but Manobu, I want to connect with you. Leon, definitely connect with you. Chris, as well. And Jason, since you have business in Japan, that's a great organization you established. So definitely want to talk to you.
Yes,
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Thank you very much. Amazing.
5 people related to Japan. I misspoke earlier.
Absolutely. I don't know if Jaime Favela is involved with Japan. Jaime, do you have any
No,
Japan
I'm not
connection?
involved with any Japanese or Asian company yet. I'm a lawyer as a profession. I have been working for large corporates, US corporates, for over 30 years in the financial and technology sectors. And I started my practice almost 15 months ago. Today I'm basically alone and trying to grow this to become a law firm. And I would like to meet any company that would like to make business in Mexico safely with a professional that can provide the correct guidance and the correct support. I see myself as a business lawyer. I like to do business. I don't do the ugly part of law, which is litigation and this type of stuff. I like more the work in terms of negotiating before we go to litigation or doing business. And in the companies that I work for, I see myself as part of the results of the company. So that's something that really drives me to help companies in growing and getting success in economic terms and also professional terms.
Where in Mexico are you based?
Mexico City.
Okay, very good. And have you met Gabriel already, Uribe, our executive director there?
Yes, I already met Gabriel, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And thanks for sharing. Let's continue to go around the room. A place where lawyers are required is in the supply chain right now. And Tom Edholm, with Value Chain Dynamics, is an expert on the supply chain dynamics, as the name says. Tom, who would you like to meet?
So, just a background, taking a little bit of a pivot here based off of the markets. Everybody's just kind of sitting. And so what we're doing is trying to prepare companies for when things finally start to break free, manufacturing companies. So we're going in and actually documenting the supply chain down to 3 tiers of supply, which really nobody has that much visibility. So it opens up almost every company. And then we're looking at benchmarking them and doing a risk analysis to put together a creative plan for when things start to break out so they can just quickly implement depending on how it all shakes out. What I'm really looking for is people in the medical device space. I've spent well over half my career in medical device and have helped companies, get set up from a regulatory standpoint and sourcing and such. Also getting qualified in other countries, especially Vietnam, Taiwan, China. And so would love to meet some people in that space. And also, Doug, I just want to let you know that we recently had an event with Avahi on the AI end of it. And I was so impressed with the guys and with the processes that they walked us through. Ended up starting to set up a business relationship with them. And they're helping a couple companies that I know that were desperate to get into the AI space, but just really never knew how to. And they do it the right way. They don't go in with just, you know, a couple agents here and there. They go in and set up the whole infrastructure. And so it's been really impressive working with them.
They're amazing. And the fellow we work with out of Michigan is just the best. Thank you.
Yeah, he is.
Thank you. I think there's only one other person left, and is Eduardo still here? Let's see. Oh, there's Eduardo. So we're just right at the top of the hour. So Eduardo, you joined late, and so we only have a minute or two for you. Thank you for your leadership. There's nobody more connected to the manufacturing community in the United States and in Mexico than Eduardo Gonzalez, as a product of his work with the Mexican government, but also all the work that he's done subsequently on both sides of the border. So thank you for your leadership, also for your leadership on the advisory board chair role at Global Chamber Phoenix. And also Eduardo has an executive director role with Global Chamber on both sides of the border. And he's from, we're getting Baja set up here recently. So thank you for that. Who would you like to meet, Eduardo?
Hey, thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. I'm driving. I'm heading back home right now. Appreciate the introduction. Yeah, so always looking out for companies that are trying to either move their manufacturing to Mexico or starting their manufacturing on the Mexican side. We help them with their site selection or help them find a contract manufacturing company that it's a good fit for them. So we work with startups, we work with companies that already have manufacturing in different regions, and we help them find the right partners so they can stay competitive. And also with all the tariffs and geopolitical risks going on, we help them reduce those risks. I'm also helping Tom with his efforts with the supply value chain proposal, and always looking out for companies that want to be more efficient with their supply chains and help them find efficiencies. So yeah, anybody that is in supply chain looking for manufacturing, or if anyone has any questions or any issues with Mexico, I'll be happy to help them out. Thank you, Doug.
I saw today in conclusion that we're doing an event, and now the details are coming in for the semiconductor industry. Semicon West is always in the Bay Area, except this year in October 7th through 10th, and we're going to do an event October 6th in Phoenix, and it's going to be involving the semiconductor industry and involving Mexico and Eduardo and a few other members. And so if you're interested in the semicon industry, you're involved in Semicon West or that the area around the world, Phoenix, Arizona is the place to be October 6th. Cesar, I think that might be it. Unless there's somebody that we missed, reach out and yell out. Cesar, are you still there? And any final conclusions? Anything you'd like to apologize for mistakes I made, or other things that we should know about?
No, all good, all good. Well, for those of you who are new, the typical process is that we've been taking notes and we then follow up. Doug and I put our heads together and make some additional connections. I've been making some connections like the one, Francis, you mentioned to Manabu and Leon, and I already did those, and same with Steven and others, but we might come back in a couple of weeks and follow up on that. So I only have one ask to do. Is I'm gonna share here in the chat the link to our Brazil event next week. I've been very involved with that. It's a 3-event series. It's been very interesting. It's the the third and last, and it's going to be covering manufacturing and chemical products. So there might be some alignment there with some of the speakers today. So feel free to join us, or even if there's anyone in your network that is doing business in Brazil interested. I know Brazil is a key. There's a key connection between Brazil and Japan, and so if any of you see any interest there, feel free to join us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll catch you on the other side. Be global and unstoppable. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Good evening.
Thank you, Doug. Bye.
Take care.